Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Planet New Jersey. Believe it or not, this is episode number 5. And we thank you for being aboard the spaceship with us today. In the southern region of the planet, I'm in Burlington County. Number 6, I'm sorry, Vin. I see him shouting at me for guys who are not watching. Episode number 6, I'm in Burlington County in the
There's
southern
no
region of the
reason to
planet.
number them anyway. Whatever.
It's
And it
exciting.
is 91 degrees here. And if you're in New Jersey, we are still melting, and we have been that way for the last couple of weeks. We want to start off with a big shout out and thank you to our official sponsor of Planet New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance, also known as NJM, for all of your auto, home, and workman's compensation needs. Your host for today is myself, Randy Stephens. And as usual, alongside me is the RT, Casey Skarecki. I hope she likes that. And the guru of comms, which I've nicknamed him that myself, Vinnie Civitillo. And of course, our special guest for the day, PlastechFree. We have Gene and Mark, and you guys can say hi to the people.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, how are you?
Greetings.
Listen, we're looking forward to this one. This one should be good. We met these guys at an environmental regulatory conference a couple weeks back. We've been working on scheduling to get them with us over the last couple weeks. So glad that they've remembered following up what was the holiday weekend for most of us here today. So glad that you guys are here, excited about it. And Casey, I'll throw it over to you to get this thing broken up.
Wow, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Randy. Yeah, we are absolutely thrilled. Yes, it's a hot one today. So since it's summertime, our icebreaker for the day is if you have someone visiting New Jersey that has never been here, what would you suggest they do
It's a good
or
one.
eat?
That's a good one.
That's a good
Is
one.
that specifically for today or another time of year? Because
No,
today
I guess just in general.
Just in general, it could be your
General.
favorite time of year, whatever it is you're thinking to would if you have somebody from out of town or out of state that's never been to New Jersey, like, oh my gosh, you have to do this.
Most people see New Jersey as what they see when they fly in and out of Newark.
Mm-hmm.
I would tell them just to go west. And I mean, where I'm located in New Jersey, there's deer and bear and fox and like running through our yard. So just get out of the eastern part of the state and go to the west, unless you're going down to the shore, different story. But if they've never been to New Jersey, it is called the
Garden State.
what's on our license what's on our license plate?
Oh, the
Garden
Garden State.
State.
Garden State. There you go. Wow.
See, I was expecting the beach answer. I wasn't expecting anybody to go drive west, find a deer, find a bear,
venison.
get attacked, die, get buried here in New Jersey.
But yeah, but it's so true because it's The Sopranos. I feel like when most people think of New Jersey, they think of the opening of The Sopranos, and there's so much more to. I live in Asbury Park, so
Cool.
it's fabulous down, on the beach. It's completely different all over New. You got cranberry bogs. Yeah, it's
Right.
got different feels no matter where you are. And it's a
Sure.
small
Oh, there's so
state.
many great parts of the state. I'm from Connecticut, but was dreading moving here, and I've been here now 20 years, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah,
So-
it's got
Right,
everything.
we have everything.
Absolutely.
do.
I mean, I'm in southern Jersey, and I'm around all the farmers markets and farms and that sort of thing. Like really, what farm to table, I think is what they call
Yeah.
it. I think the question is so ironic because Vin and I were talking before we started. He was at a popular buffet restaurant this weekend and indulged to the point where he began to snooze at the table. So I was
was-
going to kick it.
It was Fogo de Chao. I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but they just keep bringing you meat until you either pass out
Oh
or
yeah.
beg
Wow.
them to stop.
I'm gonna go.
We were
Oh, is
I
this
was
a Rodizio? A Rodizio
Fogo de
type
Chao.
place?
Yeah, it's a Brazilian steakhouse.
The
So
Brazilian steak house.
yeah, I had been spectating my daughter and my wife in a 5K earlier in the day, and I don't know how hot it was, but at least 90. So I had just been standing out there in the heat, and then we went right from that to the thing, and oh my gosh, I passed right out.
That's
There you
great.
go. Yeah.
Yeah. My answer would be food, though.
Yeah.
Unless the person was from New York, I'd tell them to get pizza. I'd be like, you definitely
Right,
want some New
Italian
Jersey
food here.
pizza. Unless you're from New York, then it might be arguably a step down. I don't know.
Oh, I don't think so. I think New Jersey pizza is better.
I said
Yeah.
arguably.
Yes.
But yeah, if you were from New
Yeah.
York, you'd have a lot of passion about that. Yeah.
Oh, no doubt.
Anywhere else, it'd be like an objective step up.
Mhm.
I sent him to Casey's neck of the woods to get something from the boardwalk.
Yeah,
The
the
Italian food in
boardwalk,
New
definitely.
Jersey is about
Fresh squeezed lemonade, that big stand there, big lemon on top there. And
Yep.
yeah,
Nice.
Gene,
Nice.
what's yours? You did hold up the sign. Unfortunately, most of the audience is going to be audio only. So he wrote, "Get a Taylor ham, egg and cheese sandwich on a roll."
Oh, can't go wrong. Yep.
And more pork roll,
that-
depending on where you are in the state.
that's true. But we say Taylor ham up here.
That's right. We say pork roll. A PEC we called pork roll,
There
egg,
you
and
go.
cheese.
Oh yeah, that's a
I like
Jersey
it.
thing.
I
Yeah.
like it.
Absolutely.
It's
All
so
right,
funny.
well,
I grew up in New Jersey. It wasn't until college that I even heard. First of all, it wasn't until college that I had my first sandwich that was pork roll or Taylor ham, whatever you want to call it.
what?
And then I don't even think like I knew there was like debate over this until a couple years after that. So yeah.
I
Right.
can't believe that. I think I had pork rolls probably like my first food.
I don't know. I guess I'm very particular, about your first food. It's like they ground it up into the baby
Totally.
formula or whatever, like the little jars.
It's like mandatory. It's a
There's
requirement.
nothing more New Jersey than that. Like Taylor ham, pork roll, baby food.
It's part of the questions you ask when you get your license, Casey. That's just Jersey for sure.
That's right.
Let's look
Vitamin
into
pork
making it.
roll.
I don't think you need 100% to get the license. You can get a couple of them wrong.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I know. Well, just before we move on, my daughter had an internship at Disney World. So she was in Orlando for, half the year. And all they had was CC's pizza, like the CC's buffet or Little
Oh
Caesars.
yeah.
And as soon as she got off the plane, before she got home, we go to this place, Maurizio's. It's our local pizza parlor. She's like, we go to Maurizio's first. It's all I've been thinking about.
Pizza.
Right.
Where are you located, Casey?
Asbury Park.
Oh, okay.
So that's on the beach. That's like on the shore. But all right. So I don't know if you guys are ready. We're going to dive into some getting to know you questions so we can warm up for our podcast. Okay. I'd love to ask this question. The answers are always so different. What was your favorite TV show growing up?
It's a good one.
I think
Dean,
for
we'll start with
me,
you.
So
Yeah.
many.
Well, growing up, meaning how old? Because I friends came in later, but I loved that show.
Mark's like
And I-
1983 to 1986 was this. 1986 to 1989 was this.
For me, growing up, it was Bowling for Dollars, the Newlywed Show. I used to sit and watch with my dad right before dinner. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Happy
I
Days.
Dream of Jeannie was
I Dream of
great.
Jeannie.
Rocky Files.
I was
Oh my gosh,
Price's-
the Rockford Files. So we would watch that in Mannix.
Rockford Files,
I remember
wow.
that, Mannix.
Maddox.
Yeah, Rockford Files. That was definite. Yeah, that was in freshman year of college. Yes, definitely.
Oh my yeah, Rockford Files.
Oh, wow.
Rockford Files. They have a channel, Me TV. I don't know if you have that, but they had Heart to Heart on. If you
Oh.
remember Heart to Heart, Robert Wagner.
Yes. Yeah.
I would watch them at night before I went to bed, and I watched the whole series, and it started to loop, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've seen every episode of Heart to Heart.
Price is
Wow.
Right
Yeah,
was a
that
favorite
one
for
too.
me. And Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the
Oh,
Bell.
Saved by the
Wow,
Bell.
you're younger. You're younger than we are.
Just a little.
I
Yeah, but
watched basically
Friends-
everything. Like there was nothing I didn't watch.
Dating.
The Wonder Years. Oh God, we're going back.
Wonder
Years.
Years. Yeah, that was good too.
Oh, the
Wait a
Wonder
minute, that
Years
wasn't
so good.
so, all right. So
Now we got
I'm,
Everybody Hates Chris.
I'm probably the oldest here.
That's a good one. No, you're not. Oh, yeah, you are.
I'm 63.
Spoken like true partnership right there. Got to take a shot when you can.
Well, my mom had 6 brothers and sisters, and she talked about when Lassie would come on the TV, they would
Oh.
all fight each other to see who could shake his paw on the TV. Because
Ah.
my
That's
mom
good.
would pretend to shake his paw
I
on the
remember
TV.
Lassie. Wow.
That's a good one. Yeah,
That was
Wonderful
a
World
good
of
one.
Disney.
Well, that's it. But but Friends, my cousin, when she went to school, she went away to school. And so, at first when you go away, it takes a little while to make friends. So she loved the show, and she'd always be like, they're my friends.
It's so funny. I saw this thing on YouTube. They took the laugh track out of Friends, and it was so. I mean, I'm sure this would be like any show you take the laugh track out of, but it was just so cringeworthy. Like, So
Or
every
was it a
time,
live audience?
well,
Is
no,
that-
they, so it was a live audience, I guess, but these, I don't know if they used AI or something, but they, every time the audience would laugh, that was just removed. And it was, just the ambient sound in the room. And it was so
Right.
bad, like, I guess when they tell you, like, this is funny, laugh, that's, I don't know. It makes it like easier to follow along with, but I don't know. It was bad. It was really
I
bad.
have
Every
to
laugh
see
sounds
that.
the
Contagious.
same.
Yeah.
I have to see that. That's interesting.
Yeah, Google it. I mean, I'm sure they've done it with a lot of shows, but Friends in particular, because there are a lot of people who will tell you maybe like Friends was almost never funny, and it was just we were conditioned to think that. But I don't know. It was never my show growing up, so I couldn't tell you.
Seinfeld, and that's a funny
Seinfeld
show.
was good.
Seinfeld, you were laughing regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seinfeld is still funny.
Yeah.
Good.
It shrinks.
Oh my God.
And then Elaine says, "I don't know how you guys walk around with those things."
Yeah.
I just saw that clip recently.
Oh, we were just at a wedding last weekend, and somebody got on the dance floor to do the Elaine and dance like Elaine with the thumbs out.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I
Gene,
do
and
that
you know
now.
what, Gene, for the move that you just hit right there, that's the reason why we have the visual with YouTube. Because
There
folks
you
need
go.
to
There you go.
They're not seeing that now, are they?
Well,
They will. They will. All right. So I guess it's my turn. I want to
Yeah,
talk
your
about PlastechFree. I don't have a good
oh,
transition.
is that
I'm just
why
gonna
we're
jump-
here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
let's
have a
go right into
transition.
it.
I'm just gonna jump right into it.
Jump in.
Here you
So
go.
tell me about how you guys got it started. What was the story?
Okay. So originally, I'm a multi-patent inventor in New Jersey,
Okay.
and
What'd you invent?
I invented a bag dispenser. I invented a cooling shoe insert that turns cold instantly when you need it to relieve pain and inflammation.
In your
Wow.
feet? Is that what you said? Your
Yeah,
foot?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I invented
Wow.
a new type of spatula.
What does it do?
It actually pulls the oven rack out. You tend to your food and you push the oven rack back in the hot rack with the spatula so you don't risk burning your hand reaching in with a dish towel or oven
I
mitt.
want one.
Love
I've
it.
done
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
I've done it.
that's
At my house
I
this
called it
weekend.
Racula. So I was the vice president of the National Society of Inventors in New Jersey, a club we had once a month, and I was in charge of bringing in speakers. And on this particular night, what I usually had the crowd do is stand up, the members say who you are, where you're at with an invention, and what you do as a full-time job. So as Mark got up and he said what he did, and that he was here really to hear the speaker, and that he was in the toy industry, I remembered that. And after the speaker, I approached him with my bag dispenser, which was a plush teddy bear bag dispenser that inside there's a roll of 15 bags. And when you have a stinky diaper, you would pull out the bag, tear that perforation, put the diaper inside, tie a knot, throw it away. So if you're at a friend's house or in the car, you don't have to drive around with a stinky diaper all day.
That's adorable.
That is adorable.
And I came up when my son was in diapers. So I approached Mark with it, and he says, "Oh, that's interesting." And I think it sat on his desk for like 6 months, and finally he reached out to me, and he says, I think we can do something with this." And before I knew it, I was in Bye Bye Baby and Bed Bath and Beyond for over 5 years,
Wow.
selling nationwide this bag dispenser,
Oh, fantastic.
which was
Yeah.
very cool. It started out with a plastic bag roll inside. Then it went to a biodegradable roll. And then I was researching and I saw that they're making compostable plant-based bags in the pet waste rolls or in the rolls that can go inside here. And I said to Mark, "Hey, Mark, why don't we do all bags in compostable plant-based?" He's like, "Great idea, Gene." And we researched factories and suppliers, and we found the best ones, and PlastechFree was born. So we went from basically a product named Little Baggy to creating a new company called PlastechFree, where we produce all different types of bags that are only plant-based, home compostable. whether it's a carry bag that you get at a grocery store or a garbage bag of any size. We can make them out of home compostable plant-based materials. And home compostable means that the bag will disintegrate in the ground within 180 days under the
Wow.
soil.
Wow.
And honestly leaves nothing behind but rich nutrients, no micro or nanoplastics, which are very big in the news now,
Yeah.
because there is no plastic in our bags. So it's very non-toxic. There's no chemicals. It's really, as they say, earth friendly. It really is. And so Mark and I just evolved into different products. We started with
Wait, before we go on to the other products, I did want to ask a quick follow-up. So how are they strength wise? Like, do they hold up, maybe the same as like a plastic bag would?
honestly, Vinny, super strong. We
Oh,
have our bags here, which are these are reusable bags, and I had a 45-pound weight in here, and I was swinging it back and forth.
Oh, wow.
Nothing.
Well, that is
And
fantastic.
yeah, so they're super strong. You see my fist trying to push through this.
yeah.
But made of plants, which is really cool. They may look and feel like plastic, but there is no plastic in these bags. And whoops, like I said, biodegrades and compost within 180 days.
So, so,
Um,
so they're strong enough to hold my gallons of milk that used to rip on me from the
Yes.
grocery store
Absolutely.
before they banned the.
Yes.
Actually, so let me jump in for 1 second, Gene. That
Yeah.
was awesome. So that was a reusable bag that which you guys are probably familiar with being in New Jersey. That's what you have to use now, right? But they're all made of plastic. Most of them are made of plastic, right? So they actually have a nickname called forever bags because they'll never disintegrate because they're about 100 times thicker than those bags, those single-use bags that they these that they ban.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So this is the plastic bag that they banned, and they've taken we removed 10 billion of these out of the environment, which is great. So good for New Jersey. But the problem is now that they've approved these reusable bags that people are using, and there's actually 3 times the amount of plastic now in our landfills.
Yeah, because the
Oh,
bags
so-
are the
so-
reusable bags they allowed are polypropylene bags. So does it make sense to get rid of single-use plastic bags and then allow a bag that's multiple times thicker plastic to be used as a reusable bag in New Jersey? It really makes no sense to us. And
So we
Yeah, I was
also
wondering
make
what that was made out of because when you go to ShopRite or a grocery
Uh-huh.
store, wherever, and they have those for 33 cents, those reusable bags like that, I was like, what is this? Is it plastic? Because it feels so
it's
weird.
plastic.
yes,
It's plastic.
Wow.
But we also make a single-use bag, so it's much thinner, right? Out of our 100% plant-based materials. So we call the multi-use bag because it's really is good for multi-use, but it is exactly the same thickness and strength, actually a little stronger than what the single-use bags you were accustomed to. So we make these as well, and these are available. But let me clarify one thing. There are other companies that say they make plant-based product, and they very well may be plant-based. Some of them actually aren't, but let's just assume we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But they're not 100% plant-based, right? So they're plant-based, maybe 50%, maybe 60%, maybe 40%, and the rest is plastic. Our product is 100% plant-based, as Gene said, 0 plastics.
so
It
as
leaves
Mark is
0
saying,
plastic in
right.
the environment.
as Mark is saying, the ones that are partially plastic, the other partial part is a starch. So it helps the bag break down. So they make on their label, they may say biodegradable, but it's really harmful for our planet. Even a biodegradable bag that has 60% plastic, 40% starch. So the starch helps it break down, but then it leaves micro and nanoplastics behind. So, you really have to be careful. And the consumer, when they're purchasing any products that say biodegradable or mainly compostable, that they have a certification listed on their packaging noting that the product has been tested by a third-party lab, that product is plant-based compostable.
Wow.
Otherwise, if it doesn't say that, or they might see a symbol that doesn't have a number underneath the word home, if there's no number there, then they're deceiving you. So
Wow.
it's
Good to know. That is
yeah.
good to know.
Yeah, there's two types of. Again, you guys can stop us next time because we can go talk about this forever.
No, I'm enjoying. This is kind of like magic. Like I want to know.
It really is.
I don't want
How
the
do you make
actual
it?
secret sauce formula.
Education.
But yeah, I'd love to know like how this gets made in the first place. Like, how do you make a bag out of plants? It's crazy.
Well, we'll get to that in one second, but there is interestingly, there are states and retailers that are banning the word biodegradable because biodegradable truly doesn't mean anything. Every single thing is biodegradable. Your car, for instance, is biodegradable. It may take 200, 300,000 years, but it will degrade. So California, for instance, has already banned the word biodegradable. They don't want any product as of next year coming into the state that has the word biodegradable on it. Lowe's home improvement stores won't allow their buyers to buy anything that has the word biodegradable on it, because biodegradable truly is not clear, right?
Septic.
Everything is biodegradable. So compostable is the new word. Ours is compostable, and compostable means that it does not contain any plastics. But the interesting thing is on compostable, there's industrial compostable products and there's home compostable products. Industrial compostable products need to go to an industrial facility to compost. The problem with that is there's only 185 of these facilities in the entire United States. There needs to be 185 in every state.
Right.
So interestingly, 95% of that industrial compostable product never makes it to an industrial facility. And guess where it ends up? In a landfill.
Yeah.
And when it ends up in a landfill, it acts like plastic. It takes forever to go away. Hundreds, thousands of years.
So you said your bags are more like 6 months? Is that what I remember?
So our product is home compostable. So the other half of that is home compostable. Home compostable product truly will disintegrate in your home compost in the right conditions within 180 days. If it goes to a landfill, and all our product is home compostable. If it does end up in a landfill,
Mark, the industrial, it is compostable, so it is a plant-based product. It just will take longer. It probably won't take hundreds of years. It'll take longer than the average, like a plastic bag will take hundreds of thousands of years. But a compostable industrial product, as long as it's compostable, means it's plant-based. So it will break down, but not as fast as what Mark's going to explain now for home.
Not nearly as fast, actually. But our product, even if it ends up in a landfill, our home compostable product will disintegrate and compost. Maybe not as quick as it would if it was in a home compost, but it's months, not years. And
I was going to ask, what would happen if if I took one of these bags and just left it in my my garage for a year? It would just be gone after the year? No. Okay.
No. So the reason our product, so if our product is lying up against a computer, for instance, that got thrown away, right, in the landfill, it's going to take, more months to compost. We're talking months now, not thousands of years.
Right. Yeah.
But if it's in your home compost, it'll be 180 days. Now you could take our bags and you could fill them with water, and you could come back days later, it'll still be full of water. What composts it? Well, when it's thrown into the environment, whether it's compost or in a landfill, it gets eaten by the microorganisms.
Okay.
That's how it composts.
Wow.
It gets eaten by it's food. It's corn. It gets eaten by, you could cook this up, eat it yourself.
Throw it in the microwave.
I'll be looking for some recipes to share.
Hey, Vin, one thing I know is compostable needs to be in the title. It has to be in the title somehow or another.
Yeah.
You got it.
So it's food. It's food. and it's the microorganisms that completely take it away to
Right. And
completely
Vinny,
compost.
answer to your question, primarily when you put the bags under the soil, not just sitting out in your garage, but if you
Okay.
put them in this under the soil, then the microorganisms that are in that soil will go, oh, a snack, and then start eating away at our bags.
And not
And
harmful.
Well, that's good because
not
then that
harmful.
means that if I, like, let's say I got a bunch of these and I just hadn't gotten around to using all of them yet, it doesn't
Mhm.
mean that like they disintegrate by the time I get a chance to use it. That's great.
Nope,
True, but
nope,
there
nope.
actually is a shelf life though,
Oh, okay.
because they are plant material. So the bag will remain its strong strength for about
Couple
18
years.
months. Yeah,
Huh?
to 2
Wow.
years, up to 2 years. But then after that, it'll just get a little weaker. That's
Hmm.
all. It won't
And it could,
disintegrate, it'll just be a little weaker.
and you say it gets a little weaker. It really depends on the environment. So we have bags that we've had for 2-3 years. They're still just as strong. They're in our homes. So really depends on the environment. But officially, 2 years is a shelf life before they may start. The integrity may start, degrading.
And the preferred environment Mark is speaking of is in a cool location. If it's not in a humid warehouse,
Hmm.
Yeah.
then it'll get weaker over time. But if it's stored in a cool room temperature environment, then it'll last for a long time.
Like,
Okay.
like your home.
Gene,
It's
before,
amazing.
oh, good.
I was just gonna say that, when I was in London not long ago, and I noticed there's so many more things are made of glass, and I feel like everything is made of plastic. This just for example, salad dressing we always got was always in these cool glass bottles, and just last week we went to buy it, and it was in plastic, and it just drove me nuts. Like it's just so pervasive. We know it's terrible. Why do they persist on making these things with plastic?
We are years behind where Europe is and most of the rest of the world, the United States. So we have an agreement with the UN that the US is going to do its best to catch up with the rest of the world and do our part to save the environment. So all of a sudden, it's a big push. I mean, if we had started this company, we've had some items in it for a few years, but if we had started this company 2 or 3 years ago in the full force that we're doing now, it would have fallen flat. Time is like now.
Perfect
It's
timing.
really just now everyone's starting to say, wait a minute. And it's a lot of it to do with the younger generation. They're the ones that we've talked about, ridding the world of plastic for 50 years. It's the younger generation that really pushed the subject, and why it's a credit to them that they've really woken up the world, honestly.
And what's interesting, folks, is recently it's been brought up in the news that the word recycling is really just a scam.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Word
know. I've been reading
yeah,
about that.
it's unbelievable that all these
Mhm.
years we've been separating things and putting them in separate cans for recycling. Only 5 to 6%
Mhm.
of all the products that we put in recycling bins across the United States get recycled.
Wow.
So 95%, where's it going? Landfills and waterways.
Mhm.
So it was something that came out, I think it was in the 70s, by the plastics companies to reassure the consumer that it's okay to buy plastic because you can recycle it and make new products out of it. Where in the end, we all find out that that isn't true.
Yeah.
So it's even a greater reason now that all these misnomers are coming out, all these falsehoods are coming out into the public's eye, that we should be switching to a plant-based compostable type of products, which can be used honestly for all types of packaging.
No, it's fantastic. I mean, it's absolutely necessary, like you were saying. It's time. But I was blown away when I went to Europe, and I guess I just didn't pay attention to it before because I'd been there. But it just struck me that I was like, there's there are fewer things made with plastic. I feel like everything's made with plastic over here, and I just noted it, and so that's interesting.
I was at a shopping mall and I saw, I had like a plastic bottle, that I was drinking, and I go to recycle it, and it was like a trash bin, and there were holes, and one side of it was trash and the other side was recycling. And I threw it in, and I guess I threw it in just like way too strong at just the right angle that it went in one side and out the other. And so I picked it up and I go over and I look in, and sure enough, both sides are just going into the same trash can. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. It was one of
That's
those moments where you see the world for what it really is, and I was totally depressed.
Yeah, I was at a movie
The
theater
bail
recently.
back.
I was
That
at a movie
is
theater. They had
very
it separated. One said landfill, trash, and compostable. I'm like, what are they talking about? It's all about
Yeah,
recycling.
yeah, I've seen that.
No.
Right.
I've seen
Yeah.
that.
Well, it's the same. It's the same. So when I have the recycling truck, the city recycling truck come by, and they've asked us, they give us 3 bins: glass, metal, plastic. The guy's throwing all of it into the same truck.
Oh yeah, exactly. I know.
I've
I
watched
heard
that
a
happen
story,
too.
Yeah.
an NPR when they started to talk about this a couple of years ago, and how we have very few recycling facilities in the country. Mainly, it seems like we recycle tin more than anything, but plastics is just off the charts. We were just the wool
Yeah.
was over our eyes.
It costs
Yeah,
the
it's
state
crazy.
more money to recycle than it does to drop it in a landfill. So which direction are they going to take?
Right.
You know?
And we all try to do our part. We obviously we all try to do our part, and I still recycle because hopefully that 5% of my stuff at least goes there.
But you can't.
we
You
all
can't
try to do it,
consciously
but
not
it's-
do it.
Yeah, right. Inbred.
But Vinny, you had asked about our other products. I mean,
Well, wait, Randy was going to ask a question first, then I'll get to the other
Yeah,
products.
Yeah, just I'm curious here. So, to Gina, Mark, you guys are based in New Jersey, but I mean, are these bags readily available throughout the country, throughout globally? Like, and again, obviously, I don't want the business plan, but how far reaching are these available to folks, or are we kind of still launching or branching that out?
Our warehouse is in Pennsylvania, right over the Jersey border.
Okay.
We have product immediately available. We ship daily.
Wow.
Our products most of our products made overseas. We have a little bit of it made in the States. Our current plan is to bring all production into the States. So we're working on that now. We're working on actually another capital raise to bring that, or grants to bring the production into the States. So that's in the process. So anybody listening wants
I was
to
just going
help.
to say to anybody interested in investing, contact us.
Grants or investors, but so immediately available. So we have bags in our warehouse. We have the dispensers Gene showed. We can ship. We have straws, and our straws are not the paper straws everyone seems to
I hate
detest.
those.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Our straws.
It's melted
are
before I'm
actually-
even done with the drink.
Oh,
Do you
thank
know?
At
God.
the
I
start,
love a
Vin.
straw. I love using the straw, and I don't like the paper straws.
Yeah.
I feel like a terrible person if you use straws. I think you can't even find them anymore.
So our straws they feel, they look, they act like plastic.
Oh,
Now you
Yeah.
have the plant-based material. Does that change the taste of like, can I taste your straw in the drink?
Yeah, this tastes like a PlastechFree straw.
popcorn.
Now,
It
This
tastes
might
like
actually
popcorn.
this might actually run into the question of like, what are your other products? But what is the model in terms of like I as a consumer am not generally buying plastic bags. I would guess the goal would be to get these into like a supermarket or something. Well, what's kind of like the goal there? And then you can talk about some of your other products too, because I'm sure some of those really are sold directly to the consumer.
So these bags, for instance, you would think is a no-brainer. I was just in ShopRite the other day, and I brought my bags with me, my reusable bags. You can fold up 5 or 6 of them, put it in your pocket, right? You don't have to carry all
Way
these
better
big
than the big ones. Oh, I like it
Yeah.
already.
So
Mark.
easy to fold up.
And the cashier said, "I've never seen those before. Where'd you get those plastic bags?" And I said, "Oh, first of all, they're not plastic." She said, "What do you mean they're not plastic?" I explained to her. She said, "Why are they not in our store?" And here's the reason: because they look, they act, they feel like plastic. So the retailer is afraid to bring them in because the consumer is going to think that, oh my God, your ShopRite, look, giving away plastic. So they're not bringing it in because, not that they can't bring it in, they can, but they don't want to because it's so similar to plastic that the consumers will think it's plastic, and now they're going to say, wait a minute, whoa, I don't want to shop there anymore because they're giving away plastic again.
You should write in big bold letters right on the bag. This is not plastic.
We do, and
that I
we're
thought
working
said it.
through. We do, and we're working through this education, but that's been an issue for our growth. We're working with lobbyists now to get amendments to the law, which doesn't actually say plant-based products are acceptable. Doesn't say they're not acceptable, but so that'll start changing the thought process, and we'll get more and more people, more and more retailers to purchase our products. But yes, it does already say that on there. This is 100% plant-based.
I'm saying 300-point font. This is not plastic.
And
then you can put the rest of the story in smaller type underneath that. But
Hey, Vin, they bring one of those factories back across over here to Jersey. We might be able to help out.
Absolutely. I will do some free graphic sign.
I would love to go to the store and not have to bring my giant bags.
Oh, yeah.
And the strap breaks. That happened to me the other day. I had one of my huge recyclable, what those bags you have to bring, and I had all my juice, and the strap broke, and I was just,
Well, I like Gene's point because Gene said earlier, right? So we got rid of the plastic bags for the bigger bags that have more plastic in them, and it made me think of during COVID when you weren't allowed to go into restaurants, but if you ate outside in a tent, then it was like that was okay, that was okay. Like so.
Well, something interesting Casey just brought up about a strap breaking. So our bags don't have a strap. They're all the handle is part of the bag itself. But what's really bizarre is one of the parts of the law that designates what a reusable bag is that can be sold in a supermarket has to have a stitched handle. Now, does that make sense? That it has to have a stitched handle?
That's an awfully specific law.
It's so odd.
We're trying to get them to change that specific law. Why? Because, we have a bag that's super strong, doesn't have a stitch handle because the handle is part of the bag. And it should not be,
It's actually stronger. It's actually stronger than many useful bags.
I like Mark's point. Just grab a handful of them, stick them in your pocket, dude, and you're just on. Because truth be told, I forget most of my the bigger bags anyway, and have to load it in a cart and that whole process. Let me stick them in my pocket.
Or you rebuy them.
Yeah, well, you rebuy them. Now you have 100. You have a ridiculous amount. I have a ridiculous amount of recyclable bags, and I try to give them away. But everybody has a ridiculous amount.
Folks,
of
that's
bags.
why New Jersey has 3 times more plastic, because people were hoarding. Or, oh, shoot, I forgot my bag at home. They buy another reusable bag.
Exactly.
Before you know it, they got 100 sitting in their house. What are you going to do? They're going to throw them away. And that's why New Jersey bumped up 3 times more plastic in the environment than before, because they weren't thinking ahead.
Right.
And
this is only our 6th episode, and I want to say this is at least the 2nd time we're railing on this. So this is obviously a hot button issue. If you're part of the New Jersey legislature, come up with an answer. Do better. Tell me about some of the other products, though.
Okay, Mayor Mark. So we have the dog waste bags, which the same type of bag we have here. We use it for either for dispensers. So it's either for the bone dispenser, whatever dispensers you see people with leashes, or it can also be used. We have a separate design for our baby dispenser to go with this.
I feel bad for the microorganisms that are eating that one, but
They love it.
Again, this is only the bag they're eating.
It's interesting.
They know when to stop.
Yeah.
An interesting point is people say, well, the bag is compostable and plant-based, but the contents may not be. And this is something that Mark came up with. He said, it's one less bag in the environment. It's one less plastic bag in our landfill. So it doesn't matter that, the contents may not all be compostable or disintegrate, but the bag itself that releases microplastics is no more. So you're just, so that's a big plus there. So here's our bag roll. Very easy.
Well, hold on. Let me add one thing, Gene, and I'll let you keep running. So take diapers, for instance, right? I don't know if you guys have kids or had kids, and the first thing, you change the diaper and you're looking for a plastic bag, put the diaper in, right? So the diaper's not not just compostable. It's
Not
made of
yet.
plastic. For the most
Not
part.
yet.
Not yet.
We're looking
We're
at
actually
it.
working on that,
We are
but
looking at
it's
it.
not. And so you're throwing that diaper with a plastic bag now into the landfill. So obviously, if it's plastic, there's nothing disintegrating. But if you use our home compostable bag, at least you're not adding another bag
Right.
to the environment, adding more plastic, right? So
Absolutely.
that dispenser that Gene showed you, our whole shtick is have a bag at arm's reach, because toddlers or babies poop and pee at the most inopportune time. So people buy multiples of these.
Yeah.
They strap one to the back of they have a Velcro strap. So they strap one to the back of the headrest of the car as you change your kids in the car. They strap one to the stroller. When they're walking, they strap one to their belt loop. So the whole shtick is have a bag at arm's reach. You don't have to go running into a store and say, "Oh, can I have a plastic bag real quick?"
Right.
You always have one hand. So that's the nice thing about that particular item. I'm sorry, Gene.
That's okay. So here's our bag. Very easy to perforate. Okay. Now, one of the things that is really important about our bags is, of course, not only being home compostable and plant-based, but our bags, the way we manufacture them, they are the easiest to open. Now, you could be with a dog waste bag and you're in the dark and you have to lick your fingers, just like
Yeah.
a produce bag in a supermarket, and try to get them to open. But our bags open very easily. They feel nice and dry. They don't get any slimy feel to them. And they're, again, here I am, my fist, super strong. So whether you got a little dog or a big dog, we're good with that. So all of our bags are easy to open, easiest to open. So we have the dog waste rolls, we have the diaper rolls, the diapers. We also have, which we found, which is very popular now, is composting at home. And when you cut up your vegetables and your fruits, normally you would take those scraps and throw them into your garbage. Now, when those scraps go to a landfill and break down, they create methane gas. And that methane gas goes into the atmosphere and adds to global warming. Okay. So more and more people, I think more or less the, what would you call them? The millennials and younger people are getting into composting at home to create a rich nutrient soil that they can use for their plants and vegetables, etc. So what we decided is we made a compost bin bag. So when people cut up those scraps at home, they can go on, say, Amazon or anywhere else and buy a small aluminum compost bin. They put it on their countertop, and instead of just throwing the scraps in there and then bringing it to their compost in the backyard or throwing it into the soil, they would put an actual compostable bag inside the bin. So you can either have the bin where you have to throw your scraps out and then have to wash out the bin and use up water, or you can take our bags, put them in the bin. When you're done, tie it up, or just throw the whole bag into your compost, knowing that the scraps inside are going to break down just as quick as the bag because they're all plant-based. They're all,
Wow.
plant-based
So
products.
actually saves resources. You don't have to use water to wash out the bin. You don't have to use paper towels to dry it out, whatever it is. You're literally just putting this bag in, as opposed to some people use plastic bags that they line their bins with. But now you have to take the plastic bag out, you bring it out to your garden, you turn it upside down, you shake it out, right? Because you're not going to throw the plastic in your garden. You're probably getting juices and stuff all over you. Now you're taking the plastic bag and you're throwing it in the garbage can. We eliminate all that. And there's no different process than what the consumer is doing now for any of our products, by the way.
Yeah.
We're not asking anyone to change anything they do on a normal basis. That's the greatest thing about our products. It's
And
not.
I feel like that's why America's behind the rest of the world. We
Mhm.
we don't want to. We're so stuck in our ways. Like it's like we don't want to do anything outside of the normal path. But yeah, I
Right.
love that everything you're doing is just the same.
Oh, that compostable bag, that's awesome. Because we would compost, and I have a lot of friends that do it, and that's it's kind of just a pain to deal with. Like that makes it so much easier. You know, I have friends, you either have your like compostable like bin or bowl or whatever, because it's not like a regular garbage.
Right.
It's, it's totally different. And that makes it feel more like more like a garbage, and you kind of put it away and then throw the whole thing in. It's awesome.
The only
Yeah,
thing we do know,
the bags themselves are pennies. So you could use 2, 3 a day, whatever. I mean, it's literally a couple pennies.
the only thing we must say is that if you're using the dog poop pickup bags that are compostable, if you do use them for your home compost, that the resulting compost is only used in non-food plant-based,
Sure.
non-food
Of course.
That's a
plants.
given.
Yes. Well, no. Some people think that poop is recyclable or, can be used as fertilizer. And really, there's all kinds of crazy
I've never
stuff.
made that mistake in my life.
Yeah, no. You don't want that poop in your vegetables.
No.
No. So why does my tomato smell so bad? No, you don't want that. So, so we note that on all of our packaging for the pet waste bags that the compost that comes from them, nutrient rich, only goes for non-food plants.
Yeah, and again,
that's
we
what it's
propose just throwing it into your garbage in the landfill, and the bag will disappear. So,
Sure. Now,
do
one
I
other
keep
product,
going on the products?
one other product we have, I didn't bring everything out on this one, but it's called bagasse. And bagasse is products made from sugar cane. So once they scrape the sugar from the cane, they have all these stalks laid around. Well, we found a way to break them down into a pulp and heat press them into molds. And we decided to come out with cutlery.
Oh,
Ah.
that's fantastic.
Very strong. I mean, it's really strong. I mean, compared to your plastic forks and knives you get at the supermarket or, hot places, this is a product made out of sugar cane.
Wow.
That is put into, I cut a whole watermelon in half with this knife, all the way through from the top to the bottom. The forks, very strong. And again, you won't feel guilty because, you go to a supermarket, go to a hot bar, you get your food, you eat in the car, and then you throw everything away.
Oh, and you feel terrible. You hate to use it.
And you throw this away within 90 days, 60 to 90 days, gone.
Can
Oh,
your
that is
plasticware
awesome.
cut through a watermelon? That's the question.
Yes, it
Like,
does. It does. I'll do a video of that.
It's going
Absolutely.
viral,
You should do that.
Gene.
You should be like
Two.
one of those YouTube sensations and be like,
It's
does
going
it blend?
viral.
Yeah.
Right. From top
Can
to
it
bottom.
cut?
Interestingly, there was just a huge top CEO event out in the Hamptons 2 weeks ago, and they used our product. It was a steak and lobster event. Top CEOs around the country, actually around the world, 600 of them, and they used our utensils for the event, our straws, our cups, our plates, our garbage bags, and that was the talk of the entire event.
As it
It
should
was
be.
unbelievable.
Oh,
It was
I
unbelievable.
mean, absolutely. We just had I was saying we just threw a prom. I had a 1980s themed prom for my birthday, and we had all this plasticware, right? Because we had all these people and we had the plates, and we're fairly conscious, but like we were like, what are we gonna do? We're not gonna wash all these forks. We had to use it. We rarely do, but you feel terrible when you use it, and that is I mean, I'm sure it would be the talk of anything. 'Cause everybody who uses it because you feel like you kind of have to, but everybody hates to use it because we know it's terrible.
But, Casey, you're saying when you're in the hot bar too, you got the cutlery, but then the foods, the Chinese food or whatever it is, you're putting into a plastic container, and then you have to throw that container away. So
Right.
also the bagasse products.
Oh,
You guys thought of everything. It was like the
fantastic.
entire process.
Yeah, so this is also the same sugar cane, pressed into heat molds.
Wow.
Water, oil resistant, can be microwaved. It's just really cool. And instead of from big to small, when you want to bring your foods home, we can make them all different sizes. And again, 60 to 90 days, gone.
Fantastic.
So, it's like Vinnie said, it's conditioning. It's getting the public out of what they're used to doing
Yeah.
and changing the way they think. And we need to start now because there's so much out there that is showing the damage and the toxicity of plastics and the microplastics. Will it ever go away? I don't know. It's going to be around for a long time, those elements, but we have to start now for future generations to go in the right direction.
I got one other item that Gene has not showed us, brand new. It just actually hit the warehouse Friday last week.
How about that?
What's
You
this?
guys are you guys familiar with what a diaper pail is? A diaper genie
Yes,
type?
diaper genie. I had one.
Okay. So we now make and ship the only home compostable diaper genie refill.
That's brilliant.
No way. That's awesome.
It fits in a diaper genie, and it fits in. They've lost their patent at this point, so there's a lot of companies that make similar type systems. It's all standard. It fits any of them.
That's awesome.
It's the only home compostable one. Just hit the warehouse last Friday, so it's available.
I just have one question, and then I'll kick it to Randy for the game. But how do you source all that plant material? Do you have a farm or something? Like, how does it work?
In my backyard, I got the small little garden. A lot of it's proprietary, Vinny. Our factories bring in the raw materials, and they're all tested and blended properly. That are the first ones derived from corn. So there's different elements in the corn. There's the corn starch. There's PLA. These are all derivatives from the corn that create the strength or the elasticity of the bags. So it's all proprietary in how it's blended. But one quick thing I want to bring up, and that we didn't bring up before, and I'm sure we would have, but like our reusable bags, and I think Casey brought this up out.
I was gonna
for during COVID, who wants to touch those bags that people are bringing in from home? So with that thought in mind, we actually have now a patent pending in the United States and internationally, an antimicrobial blend that we put into our reusable bags.
No way.
Our antimicrobial blend provides a minimum, I'm reading it off the bag, a minimum of 99% protection against the transfer of germs, viruses, surface mold, bacteria, and odors.
Wow.
So that these bags now, if you touch it and I touch it, we don't transfer anything to each other because the bag itself basically kills the bacteria. And Mark, I know there's a lead into that. So why don't you take the lead into what our bags can be used for? Are you drawing a blank?
He's like, they can be used for all kinds of things.
Everything.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. So interestingly, by mistake, we realized this antimicrobial ingredient, if we put it into the produce bag, so the bags that you find in your produce section that you can't ever open.
Yes.
Ours you can. So you put your fruits and vegetables in, and guess what we found? When we put this antimicrobial ingredient in it, the fruits and vegetables last up to 7 days longer without rotting.
Wow.
Shut the front door.
Wow.
That's just the gravy. That just happens.
Exactly. With the biggest issue right now for voters, right, is the grocery prices have gone up 20% in the last 4 years. This will certainly help.
So it's antimicrobial, but aren't you counting on the little microbes to eat the bags in the first place?
Oh, no, they will. They will. It's still it's a plant-based antimicrobial. Again, we have no chemicals in our, but the essence of the bag will be eaten by the microorganisms. Excuse me. So yes, even the antimicrobial is plant-based.
Decomposition.
Yeah.
But it doesn't kill the little things that are trying to eat it in the first place.
No, because they're not bacteria. They're bacteria, but they're a different form. It's
okay.
Yeah, it's not the
The future is here.
And listen, and it's on Planet New Jersey, so that's
right. Perfect.
All right. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for a game.
All right.
Randy?
Listen, hey, then I got your title for the show already. Gene and Mark are saving the planet, so you can lead in with that one. This one is all cleaned up and ready to go.
Exact. Gene and Mark are saving the planet.
Everything is on our website and on Amazon. So please go to Amazon, look up PlastechFree, and you can purchase our products from there as well.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
we're
you, guys.
on Amazon Prime actually. So
Amazon Prime. We're actually sending out our a refill of our diaper pill rings are going out of the warehouse today to be fulfilled by Amazon. So they'll probably make it into their DC fulfillment centers by the end of the week. So we'll be having that
Awesome.
product listed.
but the rest of the product is already available.
Yeah, we have the rolls on Amazon. We have the compostable bags. Well, everything's compostable, but the single multi-use and the reusable are on Amazon now.
Wow.
Please take a
Wow.
look.
I'm
Yes.
definitely getting the dog bags because
you.
Yeah.
I need them and I'm always out and they don't like refill them anyway and I always feel so bad about it. So this is I'm getting them for everybody's
Yeah.
stocking
On
stuffer.
Amazon, we sell them in bulk, so you can buy more on Amazon. Or if you go to our website, you can buy an individual box, or we have an eco pack, which is I think 8 boxes that you can buy on our website.
Awesome.
Awesome.
And listen, for all of our viewers and listeners out there, just know as Gene and Mark become a household name for saving the planet, know that you heard them here first on Planet New Jersey. So
Absolutely.
There you go.
Fantastic show.
Guys, so we're gonna go into our trivia game show here. If you haven't already, grab your paper, Sharpie, so you can hold your answers up. We've got 3 questions, New Jersey-based trivia. Today, these are going to be stemming around food. And hopefully some of the stuff is biodegradable and actually compostable. But question number 1, as you write your answer down, you just hold it up, give everybody a chance to answer. And
Yeah,
the
give
winner,
it a few seconds before you hold it up, just so that everybody has time. Yeah.
because Vin has been known to cheat. The
You're
winner,
welcome.
as Casey would say, receives fabulous prizes, which is a gift card for lunch at one of your favorite establishments. So, question number 1, if everybody's ready, just give me a head nod, a thumbs up, or something. We'll shoot.
Well, I can't find my Sharpie, but I'm ready. I have a pen.
Nice, let's go. In 1642, a year or so before I was born, the very first brewery in America opened up in this New Jersey city. In 1642, the very first brewery in America opened
Wow.
up in this New Jersey city, and I will give you a hint to say that it's in the North Jersey region. It's in the North Jersey region. The very first brewery in America opened up in what city?
Oh, it's not the beer. It's what city did it open up?
Yes, the first
All right.
brewery. Yep.
This is a guess, but I'm locked in.
Waiting on you, Skarecki.
I'm sorry.
I'm locked in.
I went
Alright.
beer first.
I think, you know what, Case? Because it sounded similar to one of our earlier show questions. Yes.
You know what's
All right,
funny?
yeah.
I started writing Boston, and then I was like, wait a minute. He said New Jersey.
All
All right. You guys can hold up your answers. First brewery opened up in what American city? And we are 0 for 4. The answer is actually Hoboken.
Oh, wait a
Actually,
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's
Oh,
not right.
Ben, I'm sorry. I thought you showed me the other side.
No. I started writing
Oh, okay.
Boston, and then I was like, wait a minute. He said New Jersey. So I wrote
Hoboken,
Hoboken.
great. Yep, we've got 1 for 4. 1 for
Hoboken.
4.
All right,
So
all
1
right.
point
At
for
first, I
Vinny,
wrote
number 1.
down Pabst Blue Ribbon because I thought that was the first beer.
I was about to start a riot, let me tell you.
All right. Here we go. Number
Flip a
2.
table.
Number 2. In 1919, these brothers invented frozen custard and sell it under their name today. These brothers in 1919 invented frozen custard in the state of New Jersey and today sell it under this name. If you're a boardwalk person, you see this name everywhere.
All right, I'm ready.
Waiting on
Ready.
Gene. I see the wheel still turning there.
Yeah, and you see the smoke? I got it at the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it.
I'm hoping this is right. I don't know.
I know Casey knows just from
No,
but
I don't know. Frozen custard.
you
Are
guys
we
ready
ready?
to go?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Your
I'm only
answers.
saying that mine starts with a D.
Oh.
Hey,
wait, did you say-
look, what do you got,
Did you
Case?
say city again or the custard?
No, this is custard.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought
the
you said
name
the
of the
brothers.
custard.
The
Yeah.
brothers, yes, the brothers. These brothers
Of course.
invented frozen custard and sell it under this name today.
Rita.
And
Coors.
Mark, you are correct. Yes, sir. The Coors
Coors.
brothers.
Ah,
Wow.
The
Oh,
Coors
of
brothers.
course.
Come on, Casey.
I know. So I was like, yeah, but that's not an Asbury. That's like Seaside thing.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
gonna
it's-
turn out
they-
that like Ben and Jerry are just fake people that they made up for
They're
them.
in Vermont. They're in
All
Vermont.
right, all right.
So-
I
so
met
we've-
them.
We've got 1 for each question
Can't
so
use
far.
Google, Mark, on your answers.
What was that?
1 for each question so far. And here's number 3 and the final trivia question of the day. M&Ms in 1941 were invented in this New Jersey city. M&Ms in 1941 were invented in this New Jersey city. And I will again give you the hint to say that it is in the northern half of the state. M&Ms in 19 this was a surprise to me when I looked this one up. 1941 were invented in this New Jersey city. And I'm a peanut M&M guy. I can't speak for the rest of you.
Oh, I love
I'm a
peanut
peanut
M&Ms.
M&M guy. Good stuff. Favorite candy?
You ready?
Yes,
All
sir.
right,
Looks like
this
we're
is
ready to
what I
go.
thought.
Pakistan.
Nork is the answer. Actually, we're 0 for 4.
Oh my gosh, I didn't get one right. I can't believe it.
They have a
Well, you know,
corporate
hey,
office
we
in
need it.
Hackettstown. That's
Can I go for a tiebreaker then? Because it looks like
Yeah.
you have one and Mark has one. Do you want to do a
All right, I'll just
tiebreaker?
flip this over right on the other side. What do you got?
All right, let's do it. All right. So this fruit in the Pine Barrens area of New Jersey was the first. Hold on, let me make sure I can read this question the right way. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, my mouse isn't working. Sorry. One pause. I knew I should have kept this question. Don't
I
go
made
any-
Randy make a Sophie's choice between the microphone and his mouse, and it turned out that we all chose wrong. He should have used the
Hey,
mouse.
can I ask a question?
Yeah, go
Yes,
ahead.
sir.
What is the leading cause of dry skin?
The heat, the sun. I don't know.
What?
Towels.
Towels, really?
Get it?
Wow.
Oh, very
true?
funny, very funny, very funny. Okay, I gotcha. All right,
All right. Here's your tiebreaker.
sure. What
This
happens if
fruit-
we both get this wrong?
Then we stop. At this point, I'm out of
That's it.
questions.
Nobody gets the Wawa gift
Casey
card.
wins.
Tie goes to the runner. That's what we always said. Like the guest would get it. But go ahead.
Tie goes to the host, right? So this fruit was first cultivated for commercial production, and it's in the Pines Barrens area of New Jersey. So if you think Southern Jersey, think of what fruits are mass produced down that area, and it was first cultivated for commercial production in 1916. It's a small fruit
In New Jersey?
in New Jersey, Pines Barrens area particularly, first cultivated for commercial production. Think Southern Jersey, think fruits, think that region, and give me something here. Everybody looks like they're locked in, and
Yeah, I
let's see
wrote
what we
something.
got. Cranberries, nope.
Well,
What do you got, Ben?
I put blueberries. It was
You're
a guess.
correct, and you are.
Ah!
Ben is correct. Sorry, Mark. You're.
You know what made me think of it is because in the last game that I hosted, I asked what was our most lucrative crop.
Yeah.
And it turned out, so I was like, if blueberries are our most lucrative crop, maybe that was the one.
And we all dressed cranberries for that one too. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ben
I can't
is the
believe-
winner of the day. However,
Oh.
Gene and Mark, you guys will still receive a gift card from Planet New Jersey because we want you to remember us before you guys blow up and saving the world here. So
Yeah.
that'll be our
Absolutely.
gift
I
to you
can't
guys.
promise you that the gift card is going to be biodegradable, but
I
maybe
know
we can
that. I
send
was
it
just thinking
digitally.
that. Like the gift card could be
Compostable,
plastic.
Ben.
Yes.
Compostable.
Or how
You
about
wanna
we do
know
this? How
something?
about we do this? When Mark and I's gift card, we take all you guys out to dinner, and we use
Oh,
that
that's
gift card.
awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know that there will be enough on those gift cards, but I'd love to
We're
go.
going to
I'd love to go
McDonald's.
one way or the other.
What up?
If we go to McDonald's, interestingly, one little fact, tidbit that we did not mention is that it's been proven now that in the last 6 months that each of us eats about a credit card amount of plastic a week.
Oh
Yeah, I
wow.
can
that's
believe that.
awful.
A week.
Wow.
I can't afford that.
Not at all. It's not good for the diet at all.
Crazy.
Sure, sure.
Listen,
so every
hey-
time you drink out of your Poland Spring, you have to think about what you're doing.
Mm.
I actually just yesterday got a thing that filters the water out of my home.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a picture in the fridge.
It's been
Because
a favorite.
now I'm more conscious about I'm drinking microplastics every time
Yeah.
with a Poland bottle or
Right.
any water bottle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gene and Mark, we thank you guys for being with us today. Vin and Casey, of course, are always a pleasure to be here with you guys. We thank you guys for remembering, especially coming off the holiday weekend. And right before we sign off again, we just want to say a big thank you to NJBIA and our official sponsor, New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance, once again known for everything that they do in the auto, home, and workman's compensation industry. So look for this podcast to be wherever you find your favorite podcast and on YouTube, so that you can see all the dances that Gene did early in the show and then all the products that they held up for us guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for being here, and looking forward to catching up with you guys and seeing how the great things you guys are doing. So
Fantastic. It was a pleasure.
Thank you
very
Yeah,
very
much.
much.
it's so interesting.
Appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And as
Yeah.
usual, Casey, I'll steal from you.
Get that from the Newlywed Game, Jay.
Thank you guys.
Nice
Thank you
meeting
so
you.
much.